Welcome back to the channel. In this video we're over in Fife and we're fishing at Elie at a mark that's just round the corner from the lighthouse. There's a little rocky island that's out just behind the Ladies' Tower ruin. I did fish off the back of the tower first because we had to wait a little bit on the tide to drop. We're a wee bit early. I'm going to get out here to this wee island. You can walk out maybe in about half an hour once the tide's dropped. So we'll just chill out just now. Wee pigeon. Might set up one rod and have a wee cast here. By the time I got the first rod set up, I realised I was going to have to wait a little bit longer. So I set up two of my rods and thought I might as well be fishing while I wait, even though this bit was really shallow. I ended up having to wait just over an hour before I could reach the island, and I managed to catch 4 little goldfish in that time. It's a monster. Nice wee cool fish. Oh, something. We're off to a start. I thought the next one was a little bit bigger, but it was just coming in backwards. Phil hooked a wee collie. I was only catching little fish here, but it was enough to keep me entertained while I waited to get out to the real spot that I wanted to fish. It's nice to be out catching fish. Unfortunately, this last little goldfish I got here got a little bit stunned when I threw him back in, and before he had a chance to recover, a seagull came down and got a free meal. The tide was low enough now to get out to the island, so I headed over, and I thought it was going to be a fairly easy walk straight out, but as soon as I got there I realised I had underestimated the difficulty. There was about a 4-foot sheer rock on the other side, and I knew I could get across, but it was going to be a nightmare trying to get Lana across, and I considered trying somewhere else, but we came all this way and waited, so I thought I might as well give it a go and try and get across. I put all my gear down and lifted Lana up across the first section. My plan was to get over, get Lana somewhere safe, and then come back for all my stuff and climb back over myself. I thought this first bit was going to be the most tricky part, but there was a couple of other tricky spots before I could get Lana somewhere safe. Even though Lana's been doing this kind of thing for years and has a lot of experience on the rocks. I definitely won't be bringing her if I come back here. We did make it out and back safely with no real issues, but it's really just not worth the risk. We were finally out at the mark, so I got my 3 rods set up before we lost the last of the light. I had my 2 beach casters with me, and I was fishing 3/0 pennel rigs on those. On my lighter weight rod, I was fishing size 6 hooks on a paternoster rig. It didn't take too long to start getting bites. As soon as it got dark, the fish seemed to come on the feed. And the first catch was actually 2 fish, both the target species. Not the size I hoped for, but always nice to catch fish, especially the target. A wee double. Oh, target species. We just want one that could eat that. Beautiful wee codling though. We get him back in. And oh, it's another wee codling as well. I thought that was a wee collie. Pretty wee fish. Get him back in as well. There's another wee nibble. Wee bit of movement again there. Nice. It's a wee flatty. A tiny little flounder. I think it's a tiny little flounder. And it's that small it's hard to tell, but I think he's got the rough lateral line there. Nice wee surprise though. That's a dab, that one. His tail's a bit battered. Nice wee fish though. Another wee flatty. Something's had a go at him at some point. Maybe a cormorant. We'll get him back in.
That's another wee dab, I think. I think I've got a fish on one of the bigger baits. Hopefully we get this in. Can't see it yet. Oh, I see it. What is that? Oh, it's a wee cod. That looked a bit like a pollock when I first seen it in the water. Really skinny. Look at the size of its head compared to its body. I'll get the forceps for him. Is he actually a bit deformed? His head's really weird.
This was such a weird looking little codling. Its head was definitely deformed and he was so skinny. I actually put a wee prawn in his mouth before I threw him back in, just to try and fatten him up a little bit. Probably would have spat it, but hopefully he kept it down. That was the last fish of that session. I did manage to get out for a late night session the same weekend, but it was a fairly uneventful beach session and I only managed to catch a few coal fish. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you all again soon. Cheers.